In this video, we are going to discuss how many races the AT&T is running in 2023. But first, we have some work to do. Well, it's a beautiful Saturday here in Southern Oregon, just outside the THR/CHR shop, getting ready to head inside and get some stuff done on this off weekend. Yes, that's right, we have no sprint car racing, no outlaw kart racing, no events to be at. And as you guys know, just because we're not at a racetrack somewhere doesn't mean we aren't still working on our program. Today, we're gonna head inside the race shop and actually hopefully make some progress on getting one of our cars built for this upcoming season. With us having a sizable schedule, it also means we're gonna need a good arsenal of equipment just because, you know, sometimes stuff happens. But let's head inside the shop and I'll show you guys today's project. So what we got here in the shop is basically a complete race-ready car. This is the one that has been sitting upstairs in the trailer for about the past season and a half as our backup. And then this right here is a brand new frame with nothing else on it. And basically, we have to take all the components off this car and transfer them over to this one. So you're probably wondering, why are we tearing this one apart? Well, at the end of the process, this will be for sale. So if you're looking for a KPC 8740 and a half, we will be posting and listing it. Really great frame, never been crashed, only has like 10 or 12 nights on it, and it's a 2017. And for a lot of its life in our program, it was mainly just a backup car that was ready to go whenever needed. So we're gonna tear all the components off of it, get it down to a bare frame. Shouldn't take long. The longer part of the process is gonna be putting them all on this new frame and trying to get it all fitted correctly. So we're about halfway done as of now. One thing I wanted to say, and maybe it's just because I felt this way when I was a little boy, you know, walking through the pits at my local track, the Southern Oregon Speedway, but looking in a sprint car, the cockpit just has always amazed me. And you really get a good look at it while you're tearing it apart. But in my opinion, it's just truly amazing how we put our seat inside this frame, this cage. We have our steering wheel, which goes on the box here. We have this right here, which is the torque tube, which houses the driveline, which connects where the engine sits in front of you, all the way back to the rear end. And then there's other little things like your wing slider right here, which moves your wing forward and back. Of course, the farther forward it is, the looser the car is, the farther back it goes, the more rear drive you get, and it would tighten it up. And then also how you sit and your feet are directly below you on this floorboard here. You have the gas and the brake on that side. I just wanted to take a moment to kind of mention all that, and there's so much more, but it really is crazy. These cars are so fascinating, and I am so blessed to get the opportunity to drive one. Now it's time to finish tearing it apart. We got the rest of the 50% to go. Well, we got all of our work done for today. Got this thing all stripped down to a bare frame, and we're almost ready to send it on its way. To give you a rough idea on how much equipment we're gonna have prepared for this upcoming season, our goal is to have 3 complete cars, one for a 360 with an engine in, and then one for a 410 with an engine in. So like in previous years, we would just keep switching all season long and have one primary car, but our goal is to have 2 cars, you know, one for each class, and then have a second backup one upstairs. So our 410 car is gonna be our newest piece of equipment, and then our 360 car is gonna be the one we ran last season, and then this backup car here is a new frame with all used components, or, you know, fairly new stuff. So that's kind of a look at how we're gonna do it, and we'll be bringing you guys along as we continue to build stuff. But that's gonna conclude tonight's work. We'll see you guys back tomorrow. So we're now gonna get started on the build for this car for 2023. I ended up being one day late. I'm shooting this on Monday. We ended up building Carly's car yesterday, and we just got so caught up on that and trying to get the 22C as far as long as possible. I ended up on the back burner, but now it's Monday afternoon, and we're gonna officially try to turn this thing from a bare frame to at least have some components on it. And while I'm doing all this, Carly's practicing her ribstick stills. She's got a little, she's doing laps around the new car.
Try not to break my back.
Yeah. So I just started lining stuff out on the floor. We got the motor plate, of course, floor pan, new bushings, torque tube, got a couple bars, got to get more of those out, radius rods for the front, got our front arms. Did you almost just fall?
Yeah, because you put the axle on my back.
Carly's trying to watch out for all the off-season obstacles. It's easy for things to get out of sorts as you're trying to build cars and take things apart and keep them all in order. But anyway, we're gonna get started actually right now and Carly almost just fell again. We're gonna get started right now, and I'm gonna try to put Carly to work so she doesn't get hurt. So the floor pan is in and the motor plate is right here. Just my personal opinion, but I would say these are the two first things you'd want to get on your frame, just because like the motor plate, for example, is literally the centerpiece of the car. Without that thing, there's a lot you cannot do. So got that on there, simple. And I think now instead of working our way forward, we're actually gonna work our way back with the torque tube, the housing, and try to get the rear end in. Just like we would maintenance this thing throughout the week, put a little bit of grease on right here. So once I got the ball attached, I put a little bit of grease on the front of the torque tube and slid that in. And then with a little bit of help from my father, we were able to grab the rear end and slide it into the back of the car and get things in place to hook it all up. Got our snap ring pliers here. Watch this, first try. Okay, wait, maybe not. Think I got it. Let's see. There it goes, you hear it click? Means it's in all the way. It's taken me a lot of practice to get that fast with the snap ring. Granted, I have way more room to maneuver. There's nothing in the cockpit, but that job, I've said it many times in my videos before, but at the racetrack when everything's hot, you're trying to change a driveline, you're trying to replace the rear end. If you have this setup like we do, that snap ring can sometimes be detrimental and can really hold you up. Even if you're really good, even if you're super experienced, it's just tough. And if you don't have the right pliers, like you just can't get your hands and get everything in. Also too, with no engine in, I can push this torque tube as far up as I want to have more room, but usually it's probably more like back there and you only have a little bit to maneuver. So one of my least favorite things, and I'm probably just being a little bit petty, but when you put new bushings in a car, you usually have to ream them, which basically just stuffs the inside of them so then the bar does fit in there loose enough to where it spins. But still, it's just kind of nuts. Some of them, like this one, I didn't have to ream at all, but then others you do. Time for this thing to go in. Well, I wanted to get a little bit farther along tonight than this, but I guess we will call it a start. And it's nice we still do have some time before our season starts, but you got to be careful. That can sneak up on you quick. So every single day here in the shop, whether it's an hour, whether it's a few hours, whether it's the whole day, try to spend some time getting something done, just working through the off season as we get cars built, as we get spare parts built. So then we're ready when the end of March, beginning of April rolls around for sprint car season and to jump in with both feet in the water. Now to end this video, I wanted to talk to you guys roughly about how big I think our schedule is going to be. So as of lately, everyone wants to know the details. Tanner, where are you racing in 2023? How many races are you doing? When is your season starting? We've had a lot of that lately, especially since we've been back from Chili Bowl, and I promise you, we have been working on our schedule and it's actually 100% finished. We're now at the stage where we're kind of going through and confirming it all, seeing where we're going to be racing close to home, where we're going to be racing up and down the West Coast, and most importantly, where we're going to be racing at across the United States. And that's the 3 key takeaways you need in this video. Number 1, our schedule is north of 50 races in total for 2023 in the sprint car between the 360 and 410. Number 2, if there's a bone I can put in front of you, it's we will be at that Tulare Thunderbolt High Limit show on Tuesday, March 21st. And number 3, we still have some more preparation that needs to be done to get ready for all these shows, but we're looking forward to getting our hands dirty, getting on track, and hopefully bringing home the largest trophies and checks we ever have in 2023.